Hi there, Carl Massy here, coach strategist and author of a few books, the most recent being The Successful Mind, and welcome to today's episode of Life Masterclass podcast series, and coming to you all the way from beautiful Bali, and I'm just looking out over my balcony and it is a gorgeous day, nice puffy white clouds there, sunshine. I look forward to getting amongst it very shortly. So I hope you are having a great day wherever you are on this amazing planet of ours. So Life Masterclass Podcast is all about giving you practical tips, tools and strategies to help increase your level of happiness, health, vitality, vibrancy, fulfillment, meaningfulness, success and whatever else you want to put into that package. And as always, I want to keep it as practical as possible. So I want you to step away from this conversation actually having something that you can okay, that made sense to me and I can actually action something or take some steps as a result of what I've learnt from this particular conversation. So thank you very much for joining me for today. And today's episode is about this idea that the environment is stronger than the will. Now I've borrowed that line from reading a book for the yogis out there. Would have heard this name before, Paramahansa Yogananda. So was one of the key players that brought yoga to the West, particularly in America, back in maybe it's the 30s, 40s, 50s. And he said, very sage-like, the environment is stronger than the will. Now here's someone who was highly evolved and an absolute master in what he did. But he acknowledged and realized that the environment that we create around ourselves is stronger than our will. What do I mean by that? Here's an example. I can have high level of integrity, 10 out of 10 in integrity. If I hang out with 4 or 5 dodgy, shoddy, dishonest people, a little by little over time, my level of integrity is likely to come down. I'm likely to change how I determine what is high integrity and what is low integrity based on the influence of the environment around me. It was Jim Rohn that's attributed with saying that we're the average of the 5 people that we spend most time around. So the environment of those people around us influence how we show up, influence how we think, because all of that information is trickle feeding in from them, whether it's verbally or even energetically. Energy-wise, there's a different frequency with the dodginess show and the enlightened show. So it creates this. Now, the reason why I decided to record this today was I had another experience where, to give background on me, I train, I do physical activity 6 days a week, I meditate 365 days of the year, there's lots of things I do, and people look at me and say, oh yeah, but you've got this high discipline that you built up when you're in the military for 14 years and that sort of story. And I realise, I've got quite good discipline. And the other one around that story is this willpower. You've got great willpower. And I certainly do practices to build up my willpower. And I'm just looking over now, I've got a chin-up bar across the doorway going into my office. Every morning, before I meditate, I do 8 chin-ups. Now, I do those 8 chin-ups because I want to condition myself to have the ability to do the things I don't want to do. Hands up if you love just stepping up and punching out some chin-ups. They're hard work. They're hard work for me, even though I do them every single day. So there's times I come to that bar and I'm like, oh no, chin-ups. So I want to condition myself, and that's where I do work on building my willpower to actually stay there. But I had an interesting experience this morning, and I do the same daily rituals. Every day I come out, I do some energization exercises, I call them, loosely based on Paramahansa Yogananda, to relate back to him again. Then I do my chin-ups, then I do my meditation, then I do my physical training. So it goes in this particular process. And I've grooved that, so there's an environment at my house set up where I just sort of move into that, I do that, and then I move into that, and then I move over there, and it's all just seamless like that. And my environment is without disruption, without distraction, so I can go and do those things. And this morning I was doing an exercise system workout, which is really hard for me. It's repetitive, it's painful or discomforting, uncomfortable. So it's hard for me to do it. So sometimes even the night before, and I know I've got this exercise session on in the morning, which I take myself through, there's no one pushing me along, so it's all self-motivated. But I start sort of having thoughts about, oh no, I've got that workout in the morning. So what I want to do is I want to make a clear path. Like I create my environment where there's a clear path for me to go and do these things. So there's no disruptions. So this morning I was getting up, and I normally get up earlier than my partner. She normally gets up much later than me, which gives me time to do my entire morning routine before she gets up. So this morning she woke up earlier for whatever reason, so it sort of disrupted my little environmental path that I had to weave through to do these things. And I realised in those moments of distraction by her moving around that it required more willpower for me to stay on course, particularly to do this workout. And I was like downstairs, like doing my workout in the carport area, and I was like finding this distraction of hearing my girlfriend about, she's making up green drinks, so there's the blender going, so there's noise there. And I'm doing this thing that is really hard, and I'm trying to stay focused on it. And it was just reminding me of this idea that if we don't craft and create the environment around us, it's much harder to get things done. So when it comes to fuel, and I call myself a strategist, so I'm all about this. When it comes to fuel to help us to get the things done that we want to get done, willpower is not the best fuel. Creating the environment, being strategic about how you lay things out is so much more effective. Willpower uses the frontal cortex of the brain, these frontal lobes, and it consumes a higher amount of energy than if you're using different parts of your brain that are just to do with doing natural things or behavioural things that you've built up as a habit. So willpower is like firing the brain up in different ways, utilising more energy to get something done. So it's not the most efficient way to use our brain. So to be more efficient, we want to set up the environment so it's conducive to the success of whatever it is we're trying to do. So that's my point out of today, is crafting the environment so it's conducive to you achieving whatever it is that you want to achieve. If that's doing an exercise routine in the morning, that's making sure you have everything set up. You've got a clear pathway to there, no distractions. Every morning, like as I do my meditation, I do it in the same place, in the same way each time with the same pillow configuration. I craft my environment. So the other thing it does is it anchors my body. As soon as I sit down into this known environment, parts of me already know what I'm doing. So I've conditioned myself to prepare itself for that particular activity. So again, the brain doesn't want to have to use willpower because it's inefficient. It loves the idea of habit. It loves it. Oh, I sit down. Oh, I'm doing the meditating thing. Oh, I need to relax my body. Oh, I need to start going inwards. So I'm already doing those things. So where in your life are you not getting done what you want to get done? And is there a way that you can strategically set up the environment so it's more conducive? Maybe setting up the environment might be you're distracted working in a particular space when you're working on a particular project or you're trying to do creative work. So you set up an environment where you go and you have no distractions. Or maybe you set up an environment where you like me, it might be going down at a cafe beside the beach when you want to do creative work. And the environment is I'm doing the creative stuff, then I'm looking out over the ocean, I'm just letting my mind open up and go broad, and then I come back and do it. It's so important, so important. And if I can circle back to the start of this where I talked about, the people you surround yourself with having a deep influence on how you show up, be very conscious and clear and critical and discerning about the company that you keep, because that environment that you surround yourself with will influence you. So if you want to be more yogic, if you want to be better at meditation, if you want to be more about physical activity and healthy and well-being, you want to spend your time with those particular people. You want to spend your time with people who are conscious about health, who are conscious about what they listen to, are conscious about the food they're putting in their body, conscious about how they move their body. So create and choosing and selecting and manipulating the environment as best as you can to support whatever it is that you desire out of it. So there you go. Don't rely on willpower. Use it sparingly when needed. One of the best ways you can get done what you need to get done, which is beneficial for your body, your emotions, your psychology, your spiritual sense, is creating the environment. Environment is stronger than the will. So there you go. Take that away, and if you have any questions about that, don't hesitate to reach out and ask, and comment up and let me know what you think as a result of that. And also, if you've got any specific topics you'd like me to talk on in these little podcast series, don't hesitate to reach out and let me know as well. If you'd like to work with me and go deeper on any of this stuff, I work with different clients from all different walks of life. I've been coaching now for about 13 plus years. So if you would like some support along the way, don't hesitate to reach out. Check out my website, carlmassy.com, to get in touch, find out details about working with me, and also some of the online programs that I have there as well. So there you go. Have a fantastic day wherever you are on this beautiful, gorgeous, incredible planet of ours. All the very best, and take care.